All right, folks, good afternoon and welcome on back here this Wednesday, July 6th. I'm sorry there. Great to see Grant, great to see Norman, great to see all of us live inside the Cyber Group room. Just making sure my internet was not going out like it has been recently. I know the morning meeting we were good to go, but great to hear. Great to see Kathleen, great to see Alex, great to see all of us just live inside the trading room. Great to see all of us back on social media, Facebook Live, YouTube for those of us joining us there. So, folks, right now, finally, little excitement right now. We came off the Fed minutes meeting, bunch of different like blurbs and headlines out there. I'm not going to recite them all to you right now. But for right now, we're getting a nice little pop back up within the market on the SPY, at least on my 5-minute chart. On the bottom of it, you could see, at least coming off the minutes meeting at 2 o'clock, we had an initial reaction up. And then it started to pull back. That's normally what we expect coming off of like these bigger minutes meeting or these bigger meetings, that we have from the Fed. So with that, we ended up seeing the drop off, but well, we ended up just getting a nice pop over the last like 5 or 10 minutes here, right? So interesting move. Hopefully, you see continuation higher into the close. With that, though, I just want to go over a couple of trades that we had from the morning, and if the markets look to continue to push up here from this point, some stocks that were pretty strong from this morning. That could be a nice afternoon trade. The EVFM just to begin. It's not one that says likely to go with the market here per se, but just this stock's been really strong today. It's been very strong over the last week and a half. It's just been on our list on and off, just dating back to last week. Ended up popping up from like 70 cents, 68 cents there, ran all the way up towards just about 150 at the time. And then, right now it's kind of getting close, but, for right now, I'll put this on our like list just to begin, the EVFM. One that could look to go with the market just more should we get just a natural push up on the SPY and like the Qs and all of that. One from this morning also from our list, the RIVN trade. RIVN's up over 10% right now. It ended up making a beautiful push when we started the morning meeting earlier today. And then it ended up just continuing, not the prettiest chart at first, ended up grinding around and then, pushed on up off the lows from there. So, nice result at least in the end. And, at least if we get a nice push up on the SPY, this could be a nice retest of 30 coming up here on the RIVN. Just given the overall volatility of this stock, I have no problem just putting this on our watch list to begin this meeting. It's extremely liquid. It's still within our price range. I've been trading this all day myself. I mean, this has been a better trade for me. Well, as a long, I guess, compared to Neo as a short. Neo as a short, I actually took earlier today, but on a smaller share count. I didn't chart my stock here, my Neo. But nice little short here on NIO. Maybe we'll get back to this at the end. It's not really as good of a long opportunity from this point. Definitely showed some great weakness going into the open and afterwards. That's why I was more interested in the RIVN for right now. But just point being, like, I'm not in love with one stock every single day. I was all over the RIVN here, way more than Neo here, throughout the entirety of today. So RIVN's on our list, and the EVFM, those two. So what we'll do is just go right from top to bottom. Otherwise, we had a couple of other trades that ended up running from this morning at some point throughout the morning, heading into the afternoon. The IINN trade was more of a pre-market one leading into the open here. So this one we'll at least quickly review, but this one not really looking as clean for the afternoon. Just it's to say that this stock from pre-market treated us pretty nicely afterwards when the market opened up. Inside our live trading room, we saw a bunch of us get in and out for about 10, 15 cents at least. A couple of us more, getting about 20, 25 cents, 30 cents there, but ended up making a nice squeeze to begin. But once the volume dies off or peaks then dies off, that's normally night for the stock. Normally the stock's just going to begin to peel back, consolidate, and then eventually do what this did, just completely tank. This was already a big in pre-market, so you would expect that to happen naturally for a stock that made a 75% gain or even more at some point today, from yesterday's close. But for right now, it's not really doing a whole lot for me here. RFP is a buyout. And Cano warrants, CANO at warrants there. I didn't see that. I'll check out CANO, the stock. That one I know ended up making a nice little pop here this morning too. And KAL, I didn't check this one out up until right now. Looks like this thing had a big pop going back into the end of June, completely tanked from there, from like 15 all the way down to like 3. Seemingly it looks like, but it ended up making a nice bounce here this morning perhaps, and trying to get back up there here. Maybe I'll come back to this one at the very end. Cal, I don't mind looking at this at the end, giving it a second opinion. I remember this morning the whole gainer side was littered with a bunch of like stocks below $1, these cheapies that we're not normally as interested in. So I'm going to pass on those for the most part. RDVB, geez, how the mighty fall. This thing ended up making a huge pop back, a few days, a few trading days ago from the end of last week. Well, within the same day, it ended up popping and dropping. Same thing happened pretty much here. It just hasn't closed lower than it's open yet so far. Still plenty of time left. All right, here's Cano. CANO, the warrants were really at the top of the gainers list there. It's really flat right now, so I'm not too interested in it right now, but popped from earlier today. Maybe to keep it in mind on your side list for tomorrow or Friday. I'm sure we'll find some stocks that, like, again, side list stocks that will look to move with the market, but nothing really up is big right now. No familiar names, at least. Rivian, we talked about. IMTE, maybe. Viru, I know, is flat. I was going to skip over Viru, but just to show it at least after the market opened, this one ended up making a beautiful pop and run. This one was on our pre-market list, but it was really funky afterwards, so I didn't really think of it as much leading into the market open. But shortly afterwards, we called this out, and we were on top of it from there. But obviously, right now at this very point, it just really died off, flattened out. All right, so might be a slower move up until 3:30, then maybe some late fireworks from 4th of July here heading into the afternoon. Maybe a bigger pop into the close. So see what's on the loser side at least here otherwise. But we'll jump back to see what's on the side list here at the end. VSCA, it's kind of at the lows, but not really doing it for me there. I said in the trading room earlier, I thought the RADA trade would be, more of a short opportunity into the close. I had called that out before I started the meeting. So I said that just at the time because it was just right there at the lows. It's, $7 stock, not really trading a whole lot of volume per minute, but at the lows and at least on my platform, shortable. The stock actually I'm pretty familiar with. Number of years back, I did like a swing trade on it at the time. I don't remember how I did, to be honest with you. It was like very probably so. You remember the big winners and you remember the big losers, but you don't remember the in-betweeners as much. This is an Israeli defense stock. So, this one ended up making a nice run, at least back from the end of 2020, much after I was in it. But a huge run back up to begin this year. And for right now, I mean, this thing took a huge hit, but, could make another drop off heading into the market close here, the RADA trade. So, I don't mind putting this on the main list as a short. Potential support off of 750. STNG here, maybe. Tanker stock, Scorpio tankers. I don't know if there's any other tanker stocks that we know of or look to trade, but maybe that's something we could check out. I don't know if this is just specific to STNG, but nice little drop off from earlier today. If there's anything that's closer to the lows, I'd be a little bit more interested in it. FRO frontline. Nah. Ooh, NCLH. Norman wrote that in the trading room, and right now I just see it on the loser side here. I didn't realize, Norman, this thing took a huge hit today. Wow, down over 9% here. And just truth be told, I mean, hey, there's plenty of fish out there in the sea to catch. I just didn't really have my eyes on this. Made a huge drop off this morning, and right now, again, same to be said on this as I just said before on the other one. Like, if it was showing more direction downward at this point, great. If the markets were dropping off, great. But the markets are pushing up. So if there's anything that's like really near the highs right now, or like was kind of going against the grain from earlier today and is like, showing good strength right now at this point, it would be a pretty good play. Speaking of which, as I'm kind of just skimming through myself one last time on the gainers list, REV. So this is up over 8%. We had called this out early in pre-market, although I don't think we put this on the main list, truth be told. It didn't make the morning cut, but it's pretty funky afterwards. Then had a huge pop after 10:30, but right now it's still showing good strength. I mean, this is as good now compared to at least from pre-market. So not too bad. I don't mind giving this a second look here. The REV. We got RIVN, we got RADA, and we got REV. Any other R's? R stocks out there? Not RFP, that's a buyout. Norman also called out TRVI earlier, and I just, I saw that pop up on Benzinga Pro right now, Norman. So going to beat him to the punch probably on that. But yeah, I mean, TRVI making another squeeze here. It just needs a little bit more of a kick in volume, right? It's up over 13% at the highs. So I don't mind at least putting this on our list, giving it a look. I had an email from one of us on Facebook or on YouTube, actually, I should say. They were looking to go over crypto. I don't have my charts on me today, but again, not a whole lot's really happened over the last couple of weeks. I gave my thoughts before the crash down to 17,000 or 17,000 around there, and it bounced a little bit, but it's been flat since altogether. So no, I'll go over it tomorrow. I will grant that request, and we'll go over crypto altogether, like Bitcoin and Ethereum mainly tomorrow. Maybe a couple of others if they look good, but nothing really looks too good in the crypto market now. Nothing will really look that great for a little while, I think. All right, folks, I think that's just about it for the meantime here. Jeff says CVNA, watching it follow the market too. Okay, so let's take a look at that. I'm sorry. CVNA was one from yesterday that ended up making a huge squeeze up. It's down though right now. It's trying to make a bounce, but you want something that is at the highs right now. Let me just flip over on my Benzinga scanner here really briefly. And you know what? Actually, I'm set up like in a certain way today that I'll be able to do this here really briefly. If you want to just give me a quick second, I have a pretty good idea to show you. All right, so I got a little time on my hands here, and hopefully my internet does not crap out on me. I don't want to wish that into existence, but let's see if I can do something here, if I may. Oh, it might not let me. Give me a quick sec. Nah, I gotta log back in. Give me a quick sec. Damn. All right, never mind. I was gonna try and show you my Benzinga scanner there. Too little, too late at that point. I gotta relog back in, but I'll do that tomorrow, at least on top of crypto. But I always like to show that every now and then if I have the chance. I'll definitely do that tomorrow. There's nothing really that we haven't missed so far that's at the highs, right? I mean, like I saw the airlines and cruise lines a little bit, but they're coming off the lows a little bit. AAL, I guess, looks all right, but it's like not even up a whole lot. FCell at the highs. I saw one of us call this out much earlier in the day. It's a little slow for my liking, though. I'm not really too thrilled with like lack of volume on that. So I'll tell you, I think that I like what we got so far, folks. We don't need to catch them all when we got RIVN here ready to explode over 30, I believe. The EFVN still in play. The REV looks really good. And a couple of others, though, to begin. As always, though, keep in mind, folks, we're going to start and stick with this list. We just scanned the market for the last 13, 15 minutes. So, if unless there is something that you see that makes an enormous pop or drop that that we're going to watch, I would look to focus on this list to begin inside the chat board. And then, when Rich gets on the mic at 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. Eastern time, then we'll look to call out the sideless stocks, the runs, the BTUs from Michael and all of that. So, right now, listen, we just went through it all. So again, unless if there's anything that makes a dramatic pop or drop, I would look to start with this list. All right, for all of us on social media, I appreciate you sticking with me each and every day, each and every afternoon. And for the remainder of this week, I'll be doing the morning meeting, tagging in for Fausto. Just always a quick reminder with that. But if you have any questions, send it over through email, josh@ctutrading.com. I always like to post my email here at the end of these streams. Any questions, thoughts, comments, suggestions, and then otherwise, if you wanted to join us inside our live trading room, just go right down to the link on the banner below right there in yellow. For Leda, John, for Michael, for all of us there live right now, Norman, Jeff, etc., I look forward to talking to you folks later on this afternoon at 3:30 Eastern time. Take care.
Become a Cyber Group member today. Just click the link below and receive all these amazing products and a world of knowledge for just $9. Do it today.